Now we're going to have a look at the last part, okay? It's the last part of the module. Now we talked about carbohydrates, we had a look at fats and our proteins. We had a look at how we can use fat for fuel. We had a look at insulin receptors and how we can put them all together and time our foods so we get the maximum amount of fat loss and the maximum amount of performance. We had a look at how fats can break down and dissolve our fats in our bodies and clear our veins of the cholesterol that's in them. Now we're going to have a look at our digestion and how that goes in correspondence with our metabolism. To finish off the day, we're going to have a look at your intestines and how they work with your metabolism. Okay, so all the food that you're eating is digested. So we've got our proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and when we process it with our liver, on the other side we've got glucose, we've got amino acids and fatty acids. And that little sister companion comes in there of the insulin, and that's what we end up with on the other side of our processing. So with this glucose, amino acids and our fatty acids, it's going to get digested. Now this was wasn't in the module before either, I've just added it in now, okay? But it was there the whole time. So it gets digested and eventually runs into your bloodstream. You can use it for fuel, or you can get fat on it. All right. So now we're going to have a little bit of a zoom in, and we're going to have a look under the microscope exactly how your digestive system works. Now, to explain it to you the best way, your intestines, your digestive tract, your intestinal tract, it works like a conveyor belt. All right, so you put food on that conveyor belt, and it's just going to keep on moving along that conveyor belt until it falls out the other side. All right, and that's exactly how your digestive system works. Now, your metabolism, it's like a pair of pincers. All right, so it's going to see that food that is on that conveyor belt, and it's like a factory. It sees it and it's going to grab it. It's going to pull it into that bloodstream, which you can actually use for fuel or whatever you want to use it for. All right, so that's how your metabolism works in conjunction with your intestines. So we've got a little bit of a factory there, yeah? We're going to have a look at your intestines like a factory for your metabolism. Now, just say we've got this poor guy again. Now he's sedentary, just like you are now, all right? So he's in that hibernative state. He's in a hibernation mode, all right? Now when somebody doesn't do exercise or it doesn't feel like getting around so much, that factory is quite shut down, all right? That factory is in shutdown. There's not a lot of production there, and basically you don't feel like eating some wholesome foods. You just feel like eating a low volume of food, like junk food, for instance, which is rich in calories, yeah, and high in GI. So why would you feel like something that's high in GI and low in volume? Basically, because that factory is shut down. And remember, we've got our monosaccharides, which are our simple sugars. Now they're very easy for the liver to break down. So you feel like something where that your factory doesn't have to go through so much process in order to get the fuel to the destination. So your factory doesn't have to work so hard. It's already broken down. It's already done for it. All right, so you don't feel like that complex carbohydrate. You feel like just give me some of this. And you don't feel like eating a lot of food either. You ask a lot of people, a lot of clients come to me, prospective clients, and they say, oh, I don't eat that much. I haven't eaten anything since like 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 8 o'clock at night. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just don't feel like it. And I'm like, are you hungry? They're like, no, I'm not hungry. It's because their factories are shut down, all right? And when they eat, they say, oh, just a little bit of food, all right? So that's what happens to somebody that doesn't exercise. So they have a very slow digestion. So that conveyor belt is moving along so slowly. Now, if conveyor belt is moving slowly, and you only put like a small amount of food on there, which is rich in calories, now your metabolism, it's going to become greedy, okay? So only a little bit of food comes in, your metabolism will like, am I in a famine or am I in a feast? Well, it looks like I'm in some sort of famine here. So it gets greedy, okay, and it grabs all that food, yeah, and it just pulls it all in. Because it doesn't know what's coming along. There's not a plethora of food coming in, so it just grabs everything. So you have to ask yourself, is your body in a hibernative state? Are you hibernating? Do you have a small amount of food? Do you not feel like eating so much? Do you sit on your bum most of the day? And is your body shut down? And what about the people that you're associated with, your friends, your family? Are they in hibernative state? Are their bodies shut down? Yeah, is that factory of theirs shut down? So what we want to do is we want to get that factory going. All right, so give you one guess. What's going to get that factory going? What's going to rev up your metabolism? Yep, once again, it's exercise. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of exercise it is, whether you do your pump class or whatever, it's going to rev up your metabolism. So you have these pincers there and you have a higher demand for energy, so they're going to start getting hungry. So you have a fast metabolism, and once there's no food on the conveyor belt, that conveyor belt is going to start to speed up. All right, so now your factory is now speeding up. Okay, and that's exactly what you want. You want a factory in there which is going pretty fast. Okay, so when you're doing exercise and your digestive tract starts to run out of food quite quickly because you're doing this exercise, you don't feel like that small amount of food anymore. You feel like those wholesome foods. Yeah, I mean, you want to put some food on there that's actually going to sustain you. Yeah, you feel like that low GI food that actually, okay, that's that wholesome food that I feel like. You are someone that's done exercise for like 3 weeks and they just don't feel like that junk food anymore. They feel like there's that low GI and that high volume of food. They want to fill up that conveyor belt with wholesome foods. So what happens when you put a lot of food on that conveyor belt? This is how you speed up your metabolism. So there's a plethora of food on that conveyor belt, and when it's there, your metabolism says, okay, well, I'll take a bit of this, and yeah, I'll take a little bit of that, and no, I don't need that one, and it becomes more selective. All right, that's how you get a selective metabolism. It doesn't hoard anymore. It doesn't become greedy. It just takes what it needs and runs the rest along. So when your body knows, when your body's getting what it needs, it can let go of what it doesn't need. All right? So your factory is now ready. So you have your fast metabolism, all right? And you have that fast digestion. You have your exercise, and that goes in hand with your high volume of food, which is low in GI. Now, all you have to do to lose that fat is introduce a calorie deficit. When you minus 20% out of your calories, you start to introduce to your metabolism a fat-burning metabolism. So now you're able to burn fat. So now let's have a look at this factory. We put food on the conveyor belt, which is quite a lot. It takes a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B. So now you have this factory which is very selective, it's very fast, it's very hard working, and now you've got a fat burning metabolism as well. This is the kind of factory that you want to create for your bodies. So, exercise to speed up your metabolism, eat a high volume of food, eat as much food as you can. Yeah, but make sure it's wholesome food. Remember I said before that the best way to diet, the best way to lose fat is with as many calories, as many carbohydrates as possible. Huh? Sounds funny, but it's true. Introduce a calorie deficit, and that will introduce a fat-burning metabolism and create a hard-working factory for yourselves.